Hi everyone, welcome back to Lipsa Wisdoms. So, if you have ever struggled to find the right words when speaking in English, you are not alone. I used to face the same challenge and it held me back from expressing myself confidently. So, today I'm excited to share the strategies that help me expand my vocabulary naturally and make English feels more like second nature. These tips are based on my own experience and I hope they will be just as helpful for you on your language learning journey. When I first started learning English, my limited vocabulary often left me frustrated. I would get stuck trying to translate every word from my native language, and as a result, my mind would go blank during conversations. That's when I realized that building a strong vocabulary was key to boosting my confidence. But I didn't want this process to feel like a chore, so I looked for ways to make it fun and engaging. Through trial and error, I found methods that didn't just improve my vocabulary but also kept me motivated. Building a strong vocabulary is essential for effective communications and personal growth. A rich vocabulary not only helps you express your ideas, your thoughts more clearly, but also allows you to understand others better. When you have a broad range of words at your disposal, you can articulate your ideas with precision, making your speech or writing more engaging and impactful. Additionally, a good vocabulary enhances reading comprehensions and allows you to observe information from diverse sources. In professional and academic settings, having an extensive vocabulary can set you apart as it reflects your knowledge and confidence. Ultimately, vocabulary building is a key foundation for mastering any language, leading to improved communication skills, critical thinking, and self expressions. Struggling with a limited vocabulary can create significant barriers in both communication and personal growth. When people lack the right words to express themselves, they often feel frustrated, misunderstood, or even embarrassed. In conversations, they may hesitate or stumble over their words, leading to awkward pauses or miscommunication. This can result in a loss of confidence, making special interactions or public speaking even more daunting. In academic and professional settings, a limited vocabulary can hold people back from expressing complex ideas clearly or understanding specialized terminology, which may affect their performance or opportunity for advancement. Additionally, reading comprehension suffers without a strong vocabulary, making it difficult to grasp the deeper meaning of text or engage with more advanced content. Ultimately, the struggles with limited vocabulary not only impacts communication but also limits personal and intellectual growth, creating obstacles to reaching one's potential. Tip number 1: read and listen to content you enjoy. One of the first changes I made was to focus on reading, listening to content that genuinely interests me. Instead of sticking to textbooks, I started exploring blogs, articles, and even books related to topics I loved. Watching movies, series, and even cartoons in English become a part of my routine, and it felt much easier to remember new words when they were linked to something I already enjoyed. Reading is one of the most effective ways to build vocabulary naturally. When you read, you encounter new words in context, which helps you understand their meanings, uses, and nuances without the need to memorize definition. Seeing how words are used in different sentences allows you to grasp their proper uses, tone, and connotations, making it easier to incorporate them into your own speaking and writing. Whether it's a novel, an article, or even a blog, reading a variety of materials exposes you to both everyday language and more sophisticated vocabulary. Over time, frequent exposure to new words strengthens your ability to recognize and recall them, leading to a more diverse and expressive vocabulary. By reading regularly, you are not only learning new words but also seeing them repeatedly, which reinforces memory and helps solidify them in your mind for long term use. Struggling with a limited vocabulary can create significant barriers in both communication and personal growth. When people lack the right words to express themselves, they often feel frustrated, misunderstood, or even embarrassed. In conversations, they may hesitate or stumble over their words, leading to awkward pauses or miscommunication. This can result in a loss of confidence, making social interactions or public speaking even more daunting. In academic and professional settings, a limited vocabulary can hold people back from expressing complex ideas clearly or understanding specialized terminology, which may affect their performance or opportunity for advancement. Additionally, reading comprehension suffers without a strong vocabulary, making it difficult to grasp the deeper meaning of the text or engage with more advanced content. Ultimately, the struggles with limited vocabulary not only impacts communication but also limits personal and intellectual growth, creating obstacles to reaching one's full potential. Reading is one of the most effective ways to build vocabulary naturally. When you read, you encounter new words in context, which helps you understand their meanings, uses, and nuances without the need to memorize definition. Seeing how words are used in a different sentences allows you to grasp their proper uses, tone, and connotations, making it easier to incorporate them into your own speaking and writing. Instead of sticking to textbook, I started exploring blogs, articles, and even books related to topics I loved. Watching movies, series, and even cartoons in English become a part of my routine, and it felt much easier to remember new words when they were linked to something I already enjoyed. For example, if you are into technology, try to follow tech vlogs or watching tech related YouTube channels. Learning becomes much more enjoyable this way. Tip number 2, context to understand new words. Whenever I came across a new word, I try to guess its meaning from the context before looking it up in a dictionary. Understanding how a word is used within a sentence made it easier for me to remember and apply it in my own conversation. This approach also helped me grasp the nuances of the word uses in different situations. Later, I would check the exact meaning if I was unsure, but relying on context first was a valuable learning technique that made words stick in my memory more natural. Tip number 3 is practice active uses. Learning new words isn't enough. You have to actively use them. I made a habit of incorporating newly learned words into my daily conversations and writing. Whether I was journaling, chatting with friends, or even thinking to myself, I would try to include the vocabulary I'd learned. This practice ensured that the words didn't just stay in my head but become part of my active vocabulary. Tip number 4 is keep a vocabulary journal. Keeping a vocabulary journal was one of the most effective techniques I adopted. So every time I encounter a new word, I'd write it down along with its meaning and example sentence. Every time I encounter a new word, I'd write it down along with its meaning and an example sentence. Revisiting this journal regularly helped me reinforce my learning and serve as a handy reference whenever I needed to refresh my memory. Over time, these collections of words grew and I could see my progress right in front of me, which is incredibly motivating. Lastly, I made it a point to engage content created by native English speakers. Whether it was listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, or joining online communities where English was the main language, I exposed myself to authentic, everyday uses of the language. This not only introduced me to new vocabulary but also helped me understand slangs, idioms, and expressions that textbooks often miss. It was a powerful way to immerse myself in the language even from home. Building vocabulary takes time and consistent effort, but the results are definitely worth it. By reading content you enjoyed, guessing meanings from context, using new words actively, and making learning fun, you can steadily expand your word bank. Start small, be patient, and most importantly, enjoy the process. I hope these tips help you as much as they helped me. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Lipsa Wisdoms for more tips on improving your English and personal growth. That's it for today's video. Remember, learning is a journey and every small step counts. Keep practicing, stay confident. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and happy learning.